that, and Gwilter played him for Vola last week. Is on Hall.
And again, the trend of smaller defenders playing on bigger forwards.
So away we go at the Dome, round 7. There's a whistle straight away.
Free kick, you're holding him, Kirky. Luke Ball's free kick. Do not hold.
So Kirk's been nabbed straight away for a hold on Luke Ball. He's not arguing.
Big worry will be Everett. Can he go with Goddard if Goddard takes off?
Well, they tried this a couple of weeks ago, Sydney, but the experiment only lasted for about 5 minutes. See what happens tonight as the Saints go forward. The big fister is from Goods, who'll be fired up tonight to do well. Jude Bolton out towards Richards. There's the old timer. What a marvel he is, Robert Harvey.
And again, it's Blake going with Adam Goods. We've seen that over recent years.
Now what's happened now? I think the ball's lost it's gone flat. So another Sharon.
Well, that's unbelievable, isn't it? One kick and it's gone. You can just see the players milling underneath the ruck contest, touch on each other, little blocks and screens going to be put on.
Jolly, 2 in the AFL so far this season in hit-outs. There's another one as he fists it towards the wing. Ryan O'Keefe. What a great player, averaging 19 touches this season, all Australian last year. Have another go, see if anything can happen.
Oh, Jolly got the tap. Kirk and Ball there, manned up on each other tonight. Davis and Milne, 2 similar players, both up on the wing. Crouch is on Milne tonight. Bolton starting forward. He's caught some heavy tags this season, and the Swans have actually started him forward a number of times. His possession rate in a number of games has been down. So Bolton starting forward with Fisher next to him. You're going to be very busy tonight, Wolsey, I think, with the tactics as we try and pick them up. Lots of man-on-man stuff. Looking forward to the struggle. We mentioned at the start, not expected to be a real high-scoring game.
And we'll get plenty of this, Hutto, because they go one-on-one, both teams. You just don't get too many players get the ball out in a bit of space where they might be 3 metres in the clear. If a player takes possession, he's generally got an opponent wrapping him up as soon as he takes it. So we're going to see a lot of times where the ball goes to ground and stacks on the mill.
Jolly attacking, tapped out was Goods. He's trying to get the feel for the footy. Well, probably last year he would have kicked that and might have gone through for a goal, but his touch is just not quite there at the moment.
Beautiful tap from Jolly. As Gwilt now brings it back in. Laid up the options. Decides to go long. Goods. Out busting Blake. Plays on to Davis. Usually uses it well. And this is no exception. Unselfish play from Davis. Didn't blaze away. Spotted up Hall, and he'll be kicking from about 35 metres out.
We need to talk about this matchup, Wolsey. I'm sure we will, but Gwilt on Hall, it's incredible in a way.
Well, it is, but the only other alternative really is Sam Fisher. He's not much bigger than Gwilt. They're always going to have an undersized player on Barry Hall with Hodgson and Maguire out. But as you called it, Quarters, unselfish play by Nick Davis. He could have blazed away. He didn't. Just the little chip pass into the path of Big Barry.
Has he got his kicking boots on early? He has. Swans away at the Dome.
I guess whoever's on him is going to need help, Wolsey. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Well, that's right. Just good composure there, though, by Nick Davis. Not much you could do about that. No. Even Stephen Silvani would have struggled, Hutto.
He would have just grabbed him and slung him to the ground. Could do that in those days. He's got the edge in height, strength and experience, Barry Hall. So big job for James Gwilt at the other end, Bolton and Revolt.
Yes, and that'll be a terrific matchup. Revolt steaming in.
Yeah, he's flying into the centre for this restart of play, and so is Goods. Charging forward. Hall had the extra yard on Gwilt. He was going a mile an hour the wrong way. And Matthews has found Goods, so obviously just kept on running.
That was a steam train coming through, wasn't it?
And it was a statement.
It was a statement
by the big man that, hey, we are going to go hard at the footy tonight. Have a look at this. Spread Eagles, a couple of Saints. Remember the opening game of the season against the Eagles up there in Sydney? Barry did the same thing. Adam Goods has started like a house on fire. A couple of times he's charged forward, kicked it off the ground, followed up. Blake has to be tighter.
And he's got that right as well. And the Swans have got 2 on the board in no time. Only Adam Goods' third goal for the season after 6 weeks, so that says a lot about his form.
Well, Adam Goods has had an average start to the season by his standards, averaging 14 disposals so far, which is 7 less than he averaged in 2006. So his numbers are well down, but it is a long season.
Also, his goal-kicking quarters, that was just his third goal of the year.
So Kazitsky's got it in the middle, and it's a thumping kick towards Gehrig. He's got the set. Beautiful kick from Justin Kazitsky, and the G-train will line up.
This could be a shootout, Quarters. We thought it might be a Dura affair, and we've only been going a few minutes, and we could have 3 goals on the board. But you're right, the kick had the carry, and once Gehrig was in that back position, knowing the ball was going to come in, he just used his height to the full extent.
Last 4 matches against Sydney, he's averaged 5 goals a game. So 2 goals, plays 1 goal, and there's the free kick. Didn't seem to be a lot in it, but umpire thought otherwise, and it was just a superb kick from Kazitsky. Gehrig had the sit, took the mark, and converted truly. He's converting this year at only 55%, so we'll get blow a few cobwebs out for the G-train.
That'll make Ross Lyon feel a little bit better. Only had, I think, a total of 16 possessions so far between the two sides. It's created 3 goals.
Kazitsky, your hand went up and you pushed him straight in the face.
So good start for Kazitsky in the run. Ball looking for options, going past. He decides why not get it in there quick. It's been the pattern of the game so far. Montagna into the pocket, good poking kick for Milne.
Crouch playing on Milne as he has for the last 5 years. And a little fella with the football. It's a tight angle, but for his confidence, it would be sensational if he's able to put it through. He's had a reasonable year, been their leading goal kicker going into this game with 12.
Goalless in his last 2 matches against the Swans.
Certainly is. So, from that point of view, what a confidence boost that would have been. If he had been able to kick a goal then. It's still alive, now it's not. And the first blemish on the score sheet too for both teams. They're 2 straight for the Swans, 1-1 as Malcheski to the right, the edge of the square as he kicked him now.
Harvey was held.
Thank you, back in, Nick. Thanks, mate.
Going as strong as ever in his 20th season of football. Clark got the mark and played on. It's across the face. Interesting, a few teammates for the Robert Harvey's teammates indicated he should think about going on next year.
Well, why not with the form he's in? That's the interesting matchup. That's up the other end of the ground, and Goddard playing on Everett. If the Swans can get a high, quick ball to Everett, he's got the advantage over Goddard. But if it doesn't come in like that, Goddard will run him off his legs.
Teddy Richards averaging 11 possessions a game so far. Into Barry, who want to try and get plenty of the ball and try and run and make it tough for Fraser the other way. Help from Nick Davis directly in the direction of Fisher and O'Loughlin. Kazitsky working hard into the defensive 50, using Fisher on the way out. Couple of options. Attard, who's normally a down defender, doesn't get a lot of the footy, linking well here with Goddard. The next option is a bit of a problem for Goddard. We know he's a penetrating kick. He's testing it here for Voss. Bevan back in the team, a premiership player. Milne and Crouch continue their scrap. Milne thought it was away. Matthews got in the road, and now it's the Swans surging. O'Keefe using Buchanan, who's back in the team tonight after a couple of weeks out with a knee injury. McVeigh takes the Kirk kick and tried to deliver the haul. The extra man back once again was the big ruckman Kazitsky, and he's got Montagna away.
Well, that worked well for the Saints as Montagna goes to centre half for looking for Harvey, who's never going to mark that one. That was too big a ask. Malcheski too slow. Great tackle, great run down by Clark.
Well, it's a super tackle because he took the arm and Malcheski just couldn't get a handball away once the tackle hit him. Had to be given as a free kick, and we'll have a look at it here. Xavier Clark just hits the arm, wraps the arm up, the perfect tackle from that angle.
Sorry, Robbie, something he's really worked on. His tackles counts up this year.
And that's something that the Saints have worked on. They were disappointed with their tackling and intensity inside their forward 50.
Free kicks 5-0 in favour of the Saints so far.
Oh.
And this year Xavier Clark has now kicked 2 goals 6. 2 behinds tonight.
There's O'Loughlin. He's been forced to play further upfield because Everett is behind him. That's something that Sydney haven't done a lot of in recent years.
See right at the top of your screen as Barry gets out, they've huddled at centre half forward, the Swans attacking group. So we'll see whether it gets there and what effect it has. Malcheski for Schneider had Crouch streaming out of defence. Despite the efforts of Graham, he's able to kick it cleanly, but big ask for Buchanan with all these Saints, including Fisher, Blake and Gwilt bearing down. It's Lee Fisher who just strolled to take it over.
And Rossline's already made a move. Blake has gone to the back line onto Everett, and it means that Goddard is now playing on the dangerous goods.
Well, Everett, we know, is pretty effective as a ruckman. Got the job as a permanent forward at the moment. McVeigh, now Schneider. Is there a way out? There was a way out, but not a way into goal. Swans hanging on to a 3-point lead early days.
And that's pretty proactive coaching because Goods was getting away from Blake, so straight away Rossline's made the move.
Good to see Nick Del Santo in the team. A few hamstring problems reportedly during the week, but he's up and firing tonight.
And that's Spider Everett's new opponent, Blake.
To the wing to Revolts. Worked under the ball nicely by Bolton. It's Bevan. Buchanan back after the knee injury. Malcheski growing in stature for the Swans. And his kick finds O'Loughlin on the wing. Well, Chesky averaging 20 disposals a game this season, which is career high for him.
St Kilda getting numbers right back in defence all around Barry Hall.
Buchanan to Richards.
18 St Kilda players in their defensive half at the moment.
Good running by Leo Barry. Swings onto the left. Now he's got nowhere to go, leaping Leo. Handballs backwards to Richards. Little chip kick was ambitious. Didn't come off. Swans have numbers at the bottom of the pack. Lucheski's handball missed the target. Chance now for the Saints. Voss just managed to get the hang on it to Harvey, who broke the tackle. There's no one inside St Kilda's 50, so Harvey's going to have to carry. Dishes off to Jones. Jones now goes long. 2 Swans against 1 Saint. Gilbert's there. Gilbert did well. Kept it alive. Oh, God! Missed the point blank range. But terrific work from Sam Gilbert. Just unfortunately for St Kilda, Goddard couldn't finish it off.
It all goes back to the middle of the ground. There's the miss by Goddard, but it all goes back to the middle of the ground where Sydney just couldn't get the ball into their forward line because St Kilda had numbers back. In the end, Sydney had an errant kick and they had this open forward line to work into. Good example of St Kilda playing Sydney-type football, Hutto.
Yes, and another thing they're doing is they're out-tackling the Swans at the moment. 6 tackles to 1, and that's really putting the squeeze on. Even though the Swans are in front, the Saints certainly take it up to them here.
Now, they're booing Peter Everett, the St Kilda supporters. They've got long memories. Everett now in the ruck. Jolly's gone to the goal square.
And Everett getting involved for a second time. I don't reckon Rossline would mind Barry Hall being there, 70 or 80 metres out from goal. And Attard's going to be nagging away at O'Keefe, or might you imagine. He's been pretty effective in that role. Of course, Stevie Baker not playing tonight, suspended by the AFL tribunal for 2 weeks, not 3. There's Jaden Attard. Kazitsky doing the ruck work against Everett. Now it's going against Kazitsky.
Before the contest. Pushed him out of the contest before the ball was there.
Pushed him out of the contest before the ball was there. Well, it looks like he did, but he's got to be a bit careful, Kazitsky. I think the umpire's right.
Well, it's 6-0 in the ruck against the Saints. So even though he's got a couple of free kicks, Kazitsky hasn't been able to get a hit out. As Everett makes him pay, he kicks the goal. The Swans third accuracy winning the day at the moment.
That's fair enough, isn't it? Didn't really give an opportunity to go for the ruck.
I think it's a free kick, yeah. And it's well before the ball's anywhere near them.
So Peter Everett kicks his 5th goal for the season. And the Swans lead by 8 points. Now he has a run in the ruck. But it's snared for the Saints by Montagna. Toe poke to half forward. Jack's on the ground. Did well to get it to Everett. Now McVeigh concedes some territory. Back to Barry. And he finds Spider by hand. Kicks a shocker. Bad turnover to Graham, who kicks it long and wide. Looks for Voss, who's good in the air. Just couldn't quite hang on to that one. Goods at the bottom of all that. Milne's in there.
I love it.
Ricks is on the ground now, Rob. They've made the move 7-0. The hit-outs, there he is.
Well, Kazitsky off, and maybe the reason, because of the free kick, maybe just a little bit weary after a hard 16 minutes. So you're right, Ricks is doing the ruck work. But what the Saints need is Nick Riewoldt to get a touch. We've gone 16 and a half minutes, and he hasn't had a disposal.
There's Montagna coming through. There's no hit-out for either side that time. Burst on the ground, and not just on the ground, but on the turf as well, as you can see.
That was good umpiring, because the umpiring play was caught blindsided. The umpire came from, Michael Avon came from about 60 or 70 metres away. He saw it, and it was a really good piece of umpiring.
Avon came calling.
Well done, Hutto.
Yeah, sorry, it was a bit obvious, wasn't it? Burst into the pocket. Riewoldt gets a touch.
It's what they needed, Hutto. It's a wide kick out, but certainly within his kicking range.
Milne, take him out.
Oh, Stephen Milne, get out of the way. He's just pushed Crouch. Crouch has gone to ground acting for a free kick, but you don't even give them a chance for that. He still wants to have a whack. So the St Kilda runner's gone out to him to tell him to pull his head in.
1 goal, 1 last week for Nick Riewoldt. It's coming, it's coming. It's come far enough.
It's no use doing anything, you know. No use doing anything. Just walk away. It's the easiest.
Is it the runner's job to get in between 2 players?
No, it's not. Well, should be out of the way. Don't have contact with an opposition player, whatever you do. And the umpires have been to Stephen Milne telling him just to cool it. You can see here Jared Crouch in his face. Now that can cost you the ball. Now the umpire didn't fall for it, but he just shouldn't give the opposition a chance to suck him in like that.
Fosdyke, that's a wonderful smother from Ball. He's straight back onto his feet. Another second effort here from Ball. Tapped it over to Jones. Little piece of soccer to Voss. To Burse. As Everett goes off for a break, Jolly comes back on.
Have a look at the smother. That's when you know a team's on.
Yeah, they look committed, don't they, tonight, the Saints?
50 out from the Saints goal. It's 4 Swans in there. They win out. Fosdyke, very consistent player, goes to the birthday boy. Adam Schneider, 23 today. Kicks to his good mate Hall. Fisted away from Gwilt. Matthews gets it back to Hall. Sideways kick to Fosdyke. Can't break the tackle from Blake. Schneider has another go. Great tackle, Jones.
2 super tackles there.
No chance.
St Kilda players are saying, what about a free kick? But terrific pressure being put on by the Saints.
Thanks, boys.
Sydney's given away the tall option forward. They had Everett there and then Jolly. They've given that away. That puts O'Loughlin back in the goal square, and they look much better with that setup.
Tunnelling. Took his legs. Stay there.
Tunnelling.
Yep.
So Goddard's got it, and he kicks it out wide. Good spot up. Here's Blake.
Striding forward with a bit of purpose too, gives it plenty. Gehrig has to work back on Barry, who's a hard man to move. If anyone's going to budge him, though, it's Fraser. I just just explaining the tunnelling decision from the last ball up. Kirk lurking, trying to lay it off and get the Swans out of defence. O'Keefe had his hands full. Now they can get away. Buchanan able to wheel round, swing it to the outer side of the ground. Schneider. Bolton leading up from half forward. He's pretty quiet so far, just a couple of touches. Back to Bevan. Back in the team tonight. Paul Bevan for the first game of the season for him. After a good pre-season, then a bit of an injury.
Just chipping it around Sydney at the moment because the Saints have got numbers right back in defence. So they'll just chip it around, chip it around. This is their tempo. They won't be pressured into putting the ball into a contest situation unless they absolutely have to. And St Kilda will be hoping that they can cause a turnover, that they force a skill error. The pressure by St Kilda has been really good in this first quarter. Force Sydney to have 12 clangers to St Kilda's 4. Getting closer and closer. If they can get a mark in the 50, this is the one that counts. Now, that's the beauty. Only problem is the bloke with the footy may not be able to kick at 50. So he'll look to give it off if he can.
So Kirk kicks it into the hot spot. Now there's a hold here.
Free kick back here against Stu Barry. You grabbed him. Language. Get him down, Barry. No, you grabbed him.
Shane Burst looked at him and said, do you want to go back here again?
You're taking up prime real estate there, son, and if you take it up, you're going to pay a penalty. I'll punch you in the guts.
Gehrig to Fiora. Lost the handle on it. Schneider. Great little pass as he finds Davis.
Thank you.
Free kicks are 8-1, by the way, in favour of the Saints.
To Malcheski, who loads up. It's a good kick. It's a great kick. One of the best players through size overhead mark is Ryan O'Keefe.
Two things there, Quarters. The Malcheski kick, and he's a beautiful kick, long penetrating kick. You can see the space there, all the players down the one end of the ground. And once O'Keefe was running back with the fly to the ball, here's the kick here. Hard, low and flat, covers a lot of distance. Lee Fisher caught underneath it, really has no chance, and that's a terrific play by Sydney.
Well, he's not that short, let's be honest, Ryan O'Keefe. He's 188 centimetres, which is 6'2" on the old scale. He's deceiving on a football field, but he's a great player, and that's a beautiful kick.
Funny, isn't it? Because he looks short, but he's not short.
And everyone said
plays tall.
He's 188, but I didn't believe it till I met him face to face. He is tall.
Plenty of space to run back into there for Ryan O'Keefe, and protected by Michael O'Loughlin in any case. They really do look out for each other.
So Keith, the goal kicker, the Swans' accuracy and efficiency keeping them in front at the moment. Inside 50s though, they've actually been inside more times than the Saints, 8-7, and they've had more of the ball. So you could make an argument that the Swans should be in front. Goddard using Fisher, and now ball. Revolt's got away here. Now it's all about the next kick. Burst is deep, so is Milne, of course. Fraser's deep as well. He gets a bit of a shove. There's a bit of a cannon effect there.
Barry, your kick.
And the free kick to Leo
Milne,
Barry.
no, Milne, out.
I was going to take a little respect to Stephen Milne. Just get out. That was a free kick against Stephen Milne for blocking on Barry, I presume. McVeigh takes up the cudgels on the outer side of the ground.
Sydney have got Everett back in the goal square. Ball up at half forward.
Just seem to be moving a little better in the last few minutes, the Swans, after that last goal. Paul. Kirk. Well done by Gwilt. He came in expecting plenty of this.
And there's a good shot of the open Sydney forward line. Barry Hall jogging back. Everett's back in the goal square. Kazitsky was back there to give a bit of insurance, but been forced to come up to do this ruck contest. Just have a look at the numbers. One-on-ones all over the area there.
Saints just dropping one back, Wolsey, just to be careful on Barry Hall. And I guess you understand that. Fisher playing off this contest to the right.
Adam Goods, by the way, 4 possessions in the opening 6 minutes, but no touches the last 18.
Thanks, Kirky.
As Goddard's doing the job on him at the moment.
Where's Fisher? Yeah, there's the 3-on-2. And Sam Fisher reads the play pretty well. He's a good man to have there.
And Spider's also down there in the goal square. The ball's going the other way. Del Santo in for Milne and Crouch. He's got clear. Just has to be steady, confident. He's left foot. He loves this. He's celebrating already. Well, that's what he's paid for, amongst other things, to kick goals like that.
Smart kick by Del Santo to the advantage side of Milne. Milne's smart to get a bit of body work in and get Crouch under the footy. So a well set up goal. Very open forward line because there were numbers out there on the wing. And Riewoldt finishes it off by smashing Crouch.
There's the Sydney coach's box. Stephen Milne breaks his little mini drought against the Swans. Goalless in the last 2 matches against Sydney, but he's put that to bed. Attard stripped to the footy. Ball, good tackle, Kirk. Graham tried, in fact it was Del Santo trying to bust his way through. Jones over to Graham. Found a bit of a space. And off he goes. It's a thumping kick. It's a good one. Gehrig's one out. Gehrig wins with strength.
Well, he did quarters, you called it. And that's the beauty of a 70-metre play, which was set up by Graham. He got it, he ran, he carried. And then he's kicked at 55 metres, and just the strength. Leo Barry is struggling nowadays against bigger forwards when the ball comes in like that. And it hit the ample chest of the train.
Gehrig for number 2. So a few headaches for Leo Barry. That was great play by Graham. Just saw a little bit of space. Off he went. It was a great kick. 1-on-1. Gehrig and Barry. We've had 8 goals in this first quarter.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Who said it was going to be this dour struggle, Rob?
Well, that's right. It just shows that both coaches are becoming more creative. That's a shot of the Sydney forward line for this centre bounce. You can see they've got a line of players right down the middle of the ground. It just gives them enormous space out to the flanks. If they get a centre break, it just means that the forwards can lead either side of that line down the spine.
The Saints defenders staying at home. In fact, both teams having extra men back. So we can see why, because they've both got such potent forward lines. And at the moment, the Saints putting a lot of pressure on the Swans, but it's Sydney with their turn to surge. McVeigh had to delay the kick because there's only St Kilda players deep. Bolton keeping it, trying to keep it inside that 50. Fosdyke not known for his dexterity by foot. Again, turns it over in a tough situation. Fisher just blasts for the wing. Riewoldt's coming. Graham is flying past. He's a man who set up the last goal. They love to get the ball in his hands. Instead, though, it's Montagna that accepts it. Into the forward line. Now the extra man playing in front of Gehrig, but Malcheski couldn't stop Fraser, who got there before Leo Barry. Young Gilbert it is, who's been playing in defence. He's been thrust forward tonight as an extra tall with Kazitsky playing in the ruck. He's not happy. He thought maybe he got chopped there. See if he had a point. Sydney have been winning these clearances from the throw-ins. In fact, 5-0 so far. Which way will this one go? Kazitsky trying to do both the rucking and the roving. He's jumped on it.
Well, he did well, Hutto, because he didn't have much support there. It was about 1 against 4. That's at the other end of the ground. You can see Peter Everett and Lee Fisher dropping back 20 metres in front of Spider. Blake behind Everett. But I'm not sure that suits Sydney, because O'Loughlin and Hall have to play well up.
You've got your arms wrapped around him. You've got your arms wrapped around him.
Well, Kazitsky's struggling, isn't he, in the ruck in terms of hit-outs and free kicks now after he got a couple of free kicks early. So that remains a big challenge.
I reckon there'll be a time when Kazitsky goes and stands in the goal square and Ricks does the ruck work for St Kilda.
So 2 frees for and 2 frees against. McVeigh using Leo Barry. It feels just a little bit more comfortable here in the space And with no G-train bearing down low, Fraser comes in just to let him know that he's around. Young Kieran Jack, who made his debut last week. Swans not moving the ball with their normal surety here. Saints putting a really good press on. And just starting to fray a fraction the Swans, but now they've been able to get some overlap. Goddard down and in real pain. We'll get back to that in a moment as Richards goes on the attack. There's the man playing in front of Barry Hall. That's Lee Fisher.
I hope it's not a knee.
This is
cursed by injuries. The Saints, haven't they, in the
let's
past
have a look at Goddard.
4 or 5 years.
Ooh, might be an ankle.
No, it's definitely a knee, Rob.
Yeah. Play restarts as Barry Hall gets in front of Gwilt. And so Bazada have a shot inside the last minute to try and regain the lead for the very accurate Swans.
Well, this is what we don't want to see.
No, he's been such an important player for St Kilda for quite a few years now, just improving all the time.
Most of the knee injuries we've seen in the last couple of weeks haven't been massively long-term ones. Let's hope that's the case with Brendan Goddard as Barry Hall makes the first mistake in front of the sticks for the Swans. So the Saints should take the lead in the points from the opening quarter, but this will put a real sour note for St Kilda fans.
Looks like he did it just before he hit the turf. So Brendan Goddard, who has had his injury problems over the years, but having a great year, 21 disposals and 10 marks he's averaging. Christy Malthouse will be onto that.
St Kilda, well, it was an entertaining first quarter, a terrific first quarter. Paul Roos tried to stretch the St Kilda defence by putting extra tall players down there. Maybe it threw O'Loughlin and Hall out a little bit. St Kilda struggled to get it up forward. When they did, all of a sudden Milne was able to help them with a goal. Gehrig looked dangerous in one-on-ones against Leo Barry, Brett Kirk. All of the midfield players have just been ferocious at each other. This is going to be a contest right down to the end.
Saints by 3 at quarter time. Stay with us. It's a big Saturday night of footy.
Well, accuracy is a very important element of my game because it's not really been my strongest suit because I've been able to take advantage of a lot of the technological advancements. The FTI is a little different looking club than what we're used to seeing with a driver. It's square. It's the straightest driver by far that I've ever hit.
Have we created the world's straightest driver with the new FTI?
Take it from me, you've got to keep it on the short grass.
There's no telling what can happen. I can start your toes a tapping. I can set your fingers snapping. I've got swing for sale.
Vero is one of Australia's largest insurers, with origins dating back 170 years. Our insurance experts look at your business from every angle to better understand your needs. Ask your broker about Vero Insurance. Vero, a deeper understanding of your insurance needs. That's our angle.
It's a run-up start on Fox Sports NRL Sunday. At 1:30, we're off to see the Wizard and Mark Braybrook live at Aussie Stadium. Can the Gold Coast tighten the screws, or will the Roosters rise up out of the cellar?
Superman, he's Batman, he's Spider-Man all combined.
And at 6, they weathered the storm, but can the giant-killing Tigers marshal without Marshall to take out the Saints?
Here he goes again.
Roosters Titans live from 2. Tigers Dragons at 6. Sunday, all the footy is on Fox Sports.
which he does against Spider Everett as we get underway in the second quarter. Good pace up from Jude Bolton.
Arm came over his face.
And wins the free.
Where you are?
So the Swans to go forward. O'Loughlin's away on that outer side if Fosdyke wants to use him. Got some longer options and some ones he fancies a bit more, including Adam Goods. Who had the aerial strength you would have thought on Fisher there, but wasn't able to drag it down.
Well, a good effort by Lee Fisher to force the spoil on the taller opponent.
You mentioned Goods made a flying start, but he's just had the 5 possessions for the first quarter, but he really started well in the opening 10 minutes or so. Fisher and Xavier Clark, Fosdyke, and again Xavier Clark trying to work really hard with his tackling. Harvey bursts through, and that's a terrific bit of vision, so perceptive, Robert Harvey, as he has been over the years. This is the damaging Jason Graham. Well, sometimes he's damaging. Even with his missed kicks, he can find teammates. Look at this. Revo couldn't work it out of the clutches of Leo Barry. Well done by Barry. And Richards might have second thoughts about taking that bounce. Just has to tread water now and try and hit up an option. Sure. On the back foot. Barry can go back out to where it came. O'Keefe. Heard the instructions. O'Loughlin did as well, working on Fisher. So they're not exactly clean at the moment, are they, the Swans? As the ball goes over and out.
Well, that was a terrific tackle Leo Barry put on. The revolt threw him into the ground, and just that really shook him up.
Saints get possession. Attard, quick hands to Harvey. Dal Santo. Over to Montagna, and Dal Santo was dealt with after he delivered the ball. Advantage paid, yep. And Revolt's got it at half forward. Blowing pretty hard as Nick Revolt at the moment, after that heavy tackle from Leo Barry.
Luke Ablett has to tighten up on Robert Harvey.
Kicks, it's a good kick. There's a breakdown there from the Swans defence. And Xavier Clark all by himself and took the solid mark.
And he was well protected by little Stephen Milne. Little Stephen Milne came from behind to keep his opponent crouch out of it. And you can see the kick to the hole. And Milne, well, I guess he didn't do too much there.
Oh, he had eyes for the football, Robert.
Well, he did. But this is a terrific kick off one step. And Xavier Clark, if he can put it through, that'll be his second for the game. Or no, it's not.
No, he's got 2 behind.
He's got 2 behind. He's had opportunities. Gilbert's been swung to the back line for the Saints, and Ricks has gone forward.
Should kick this, Xavier Clark. And he doesn't disappoint the St Kilda fans. Saints get their 5th. 2 goals won so far for Xavier Clark tonight.
1 goal, 2.
1 goal, 2. Sorry, I've got Robert Wall's disease. 1 goal, 2. He's up to now.
What actually is that cause? Robert Wall's disease.
3 goals, 6 for the season.
Sounds like a terrible outbreak of Robert Wall's disease.
Gout.
He got rid of it in Perth during the week.
Now there's a shot of Blake who's on Goods. Now he just has to have control over Goods at the centre bounces. He let him loose in the first quarter and paid the penalty, which was a goal. You see he's got touch on him there. That is much better.
Well, I got the tap that time. Did Kazitsky. Fisher charging through. Hurried kick forward for the Swans. Gwilt got good touch on Hall. Got the ball clear. O'Keefe pounced. And made the goal umpire work for a moment. And they have been inaccurate. Not tonight, so much the Swans, but some of their key midfielders have been inaccurate in front of goal. One of them, Ryan O'Keefe.
Barry Hall screaming to the umpire for free kicks. And he's getting a bit frustrated.
Mark in the back pocket taken by Montagna. Chips it to Harvey.
Nick. Yep, thanks, mate.
Harvey's 7th disposal coming up. O'Loughlin standing the mark. Just got a couple so far.
Move it on, Robert.
Kicks Lee Fisher.
This is very much Sydney football, isn't it? Just control the tempo.
Play on!
A little short pass if you can.
Couldn't take the stretching Mark Revolt. Now Goods inboard to Bolton, to O'Loughlin. Quick hands back to Goods. Pops it over the top to Buchanan. He's got McVeigh support. He'll chip it short to O'Keefe. Not 15. Umpire called play on. So fair enough.
He'd led so far forward, hadn't he? That
Yeah.
by the time he actually released the kick, he was quite close to him.
Some Kilda forwards have all come down into the defensive 50 except for two, Revolt and Gehrig.
O'Keefe couldn't control it. Fisher could. Handball to Graham. Ball touched off the boot. Oh, crunched into the turf was Crouch. No free kick.
Touch ball. Touch off the boot. Touch off the boot. No chance.
And that's a shot of the St Kilda forward line. I'm pleased that Gehrig isn't down on the wing because he's done that in the first month of the season and he was just exhausted. He couldn't get back.
Some acrobatic ruck work from Kazitsky, and the Saints are away now. Very open forward line, as Rob mentioned. Ball, Revolt, Matthews. There's on Del Santo there. The ball came off his boot. Went out on the full, so it is a free kick to Luke Ball. Xavier Clark screaming for it along the half-forward line. The relentless presenter. There's Nick Revolt.
No Bolt.
6 marks already tonight for Nick Revolt.
Swans players filling the hole in front of Gehrig.
He's in the pocket at the moment. Not in the hot spot at the danger area. Montagna, they're going to change the angle of attack. Here's Jason Graham. Goes by hand. Fisher, bit of a dash. And a good strong lead from Gehrig. He just couldn't honour the lead. Just a moment was all Del Santo needed to enter the fray. And he just couldn't get the connection he wanted on to the footy. And Crouch sees it safely over. It's slowed down, hasn't it? After all those opening goals. Been a while since the Swans goal.
Well, there's not much space out there, Hutto. Have a look at the numbers around this boundary throw-in.
Leading stat getters in the game for the Saints. 10 to Montagna, 9 to Ball, 7 to Harvey. For the Swans, 10 to O'Keefe, 8 to Barry and 8 to Jude
Sydney,
Bolton.
16, Jolly.
That's another free kick against Kazitsky. I reckon there's been at least 3, perhaps 4 against him in this first half.
Yeah, 2 for and 3 against Kazitsky.
Swans work it out of defence. Kirk.
Justin, you want to talk?
To Craig Bolton. And it's a good kick to Hall. He gets some booze, like Spider Everett did in the first turn. Hall's kick finds Buchanan.
They're prepared to kick it wide to anyone inside that forward 50.
So Buchanan's getting straightened up by the umpire.
He's got Everett in the goal square, but Kazitsky's back there with him, and Gilbert is Everett's opponent.
He'll concede some territory and go back to Richards.
Just about 18 St Kilda players in the defensive 50 now. Gehrig's 10 metres out of it. He's the only one of the 18. This is a full defensive press. Big Spider on the lead.
As it was. So Craig Bolton just chips it out wide. Back to Richards from whence it came. It's Malcheski, and the pass just came off, but really they've gained nothing in the last 60 seconds of play.
This bloke is a beautiful kick. Now, I'm not saying he'll get the distance, but if anybody could kick a goal from there, he could.
Well, it's pretty unattractive at the moment, got to say. It's the way the modern game's played. It is fascinating at times, but it can be frustrating for the fans.
I reckon Ross and Ruse would be up there having a chuckle to themselves, saying, we are boring everybody to death.
The last 3 minutes, Sydney have had about 10 possessions across half forward.
Well, how many consecutive marks have they taken?
Oh, it's a shank, but it's come off somehow. Into the goal square, might go right through. It's a goal! By accident! And I think the kicker was Craig Bolton. I think.
Well,
that's not in the playbook, Robert.
It's not in the playbook, but it was a clanger kick by Sydney. There's the clanger kick. But it was just by luck that Craig Bolton was in the right spot. He's picked it up and he's able to put it through. So Paul Ruse, he'd be happy.
Well, the Saints shaking their head in the box. It was a lucky goal to Craig Bolton. Sydney had 10 marks in that little passage of play. And they got their reward in the end, but boy, they had to work hard.
Coaches must have got together at quarter time, Rob, and said, it's far too attractive, it's far too open, we've got to do something about this. Well, it's certainly close on the board, and it's 2 points in it now. Kazitsky trying to follow up his ruck work. Burst, that is, too, on all fours. There's Clinton Jones, who's made a bit of impression in his few games with the Saints. Revolt and Bolton continue their relentless running, and Revolt wins out this time. Fraser's deep, Crouch and Barry trying to get in his way. Beautifully done by Del Santo. Fell superbly for him. Floodgates have opened.
Yes, and Nick Revolt showed super pace, agility and skill on the left foot. Just amazing pace by Revolt to get that ball to that position with the left foot, and Del Santo, well, he crumbed it to perfection.
Saints by 8 points. Burst puts St Kilda back inside attacking 50. Revolt in front. Bolton did well to spoil Malcheski. Good kick. Finds Buchanan, who chips to the 50, and O'Keefe's in front. Got the free kick. Perhaps a little bit lucky. I think it's a bit lucky, but the next kick's the important one. Let's see if there's a free kick there. Gee. That's fair. I mean, as I said, a defender's got to be allowed to defend. I don't think he did anything wrong there.
This is the important kick to get a mark inside 50.
O'Keefe just pops it up into the pocket. Hall sets himself. Doing the roving as Davis. Keeps it alive. Tip of the goal square. Richards. Snap by Fosdyke. And the Saints in the end decide safety first. Concede the rush behind.
Get some chances here, Sydney. One chance, second chance.
Total commitment for everyone involved there, as you would expect. Clinton Jones.
He's lively, Hutto, this young fella. Saw him last week against the Blues. Liked what I saw.
Gets busy, doesn't he? Now they are getting busy, the Saints. Milne skipping past Blake. Clark, one of the targets, and at the back, it slipped through everyone.
Teddy Richards mark. Teddy Richards in front.
Paid the mark to Richards, not Voss. The give and go using Snyder. Davis in front. Graham, who was on O'Keefe a moment ago, shows them how to do it. Smooth play. The kick not so good. And Goods should be able to take it here.
Well, he should have, and he didn't, because he was a little bit worried.
Christy Mulhouse, any news on Brendan Goddard yet?
No news yet, so they must be concerned because he's still in the rooms with the doctors, still checking his knee out.
Ricks back into the fray in the ruck. Well done by Jolly, though. Down to Goods. Linking with Kirk. Not the best kick in the world. That wasn't. Montagna lost it, though, to Kieran Jack, who's hard. And he impressed them last week. He's kicking not so good there. Gwilt wins the battle. Clark working for him on the wing. Poor kick, though. Allows Malcheski in. And so the Swans can take a collective breath again, and we see this slow build-up.
Malcheski is one of the most improved Swans over the last 12 months.
Averaging 20 disposals a game at the moment, Malcheski. The Swans beginning their chip around deep in defence. And there's no one for Barry to go to here, so good discipline manning up by the Saints. Eventually, Richards was able to present, but certainly nothing like the ball movement the Swans would like. Just a hairy moment or two for Bolton as well.
So past the halfway mark of the second term, and it's the Saints in front by 7. Hall against Gwilt.
Against you, Barry.
Losing his cool, Barry. Frustrated about 2 minutes ago when Gwilt used his agility to get in front of him to take the mark.
Ricky, that's it there, mate, there.
If I was Gwilt, I wouldn't say a word to the big fella. I'd just keep playing along as I am, which he's doing nicely.
Yeah, there. Thanks, Barry. Perfect.
Again, to me, that just looked like a 50-50, Robert.
Move it on, Jones. Play on.
Yeah, look, I guess the umpires are closer than us, but it was technical.
Barry's hinted during the week that perhaps
Here's Gwilt, just again with the superior pace of the smaller defenders. I like this trend in the game quarters. Campbell Brown, the Hawthorn defender, playing on big fellas. Harry O'Brien at Collingwood doing it superbly.
saying Barry Hall hinted during the week perhaps a boxing career beckons when he finishes footy. Let's hope it doesn't start tonight if he loses his cool.
And of course we saw Josh Gibson play on Scotty Lucas last night.
Wasn't it Jeff Fennick's old trainer, Johnny Lewis, that said he could make
Yeah, it did.
Almost a world champion fighter?
Oh, gee, they buried Del Santo.
It was in the side. Easy, easy, guys. Hey. Oh, here we go. Milne. Relax, mate. It's in the side.
Saints got the extra man back there.
He told him to sing a song, did he?
Told him to relax.
Thought he said, relax, sing a song. Might have misheard it. Ablett the ruckman. Here's Milton. He's not relaxing now. Getting it to Blake on the wing, who takes the mark. Revolt one target, but he was covered. Blake,
play on. Yeah,
it's out of bounds. Came off the line.
Throw it in.
Adam Good's doing some umpiring.
Yeah, no, I've called it. Yeah, I've called it. You played on and then went back.
Saints fans voiced their disapproval. Rick's good ruck position that time. Adhard still watching Bolton down there. Kirk. Fosdyke took them on. He didn't have many other choices, so he won't be penalised.
Some fantastic tackling by both teams. Adam Goods has decided to drop back across half-back. Blake's gone with him.
Hey, guys, give me a
Blake 5 possessions. Goods 8. But the Saints in front where it matters on the scoreboard. Leading by 7. Jolly and Ricks were wrestling that time. Kirk even more determined than Luke Ball, who's just about as determined as they come.
It's interesting, Hutto. We've got this ruck contest on the wing, but both teams have got 5 forwards well back. And that's something that you don't always see, but it has opened the game up a little bit.
Yes, good point. So defenders and forwards holding their ground at the moment. So it is open, as you said, so maybe
to Bolton.
Either side can run here and get some movement quickly into their forward line. Bolton's going to have the opportunity. Gwilt is watching O'Loughlin at the moment. And Fisher's on Hall. I wonder if that's a short-term thing or not.
Back a couple, Sam.
The change has been made just for the moment. O'Keefe going short for Jolly.
Keep coming, Blakey.
Now no one on the mark. Jolly takes advantage. So Fisher against Hall for the first time. And he gets some help in style. And Nick Revolt has made a trademark about taking courageous marks back with a flight against the Swans.
Shades of the SCG last year.
Wasn't that a beauty? But the game is congested. The game is clogged up. And we'll just see the courage. Oh, that is just super, isn't it? That is just wonderful.
Push out. Advantage.
The Saints average 20 bounces a game. So far, they've just had 1.
Free in the ruck contest to St Kilda. Kazitsky in 2 minds. He's coughed it up to Fosdyke, who coughs it up to Jones. It's a rainmaker. Back to the wing. No mark to Milne. Crouch is in there. Now Jones again. He's good in the clinches, Jones. And somehow he finds Clark, who kicks it to one out. Barry and Gehrig. Leo Barry with the fist. Now he snaps at the G-Train's heels. Leo Barry kept his feet. Gehrig didn't. And consequently the Swan wins out. Well played, Leo Barry. It's the old one-on-one stuff that Robert Walls used to love at training all those years ago.
Didn't you? Yeah, I did. The channel. 3 against 3. The length of the ground. Fantastic. If you stood there with the whistle.
Nick Davis. Got Darren Jolly or Bolton. Oh, gee, Buchanan. Ambitious kick. Good protection from Buchanan, but Bolton couldn't make the most of it. And the Saints continue to hunt in numbers here at the Telstra Dome. Yeah. And they're going to be rewarded this time. How he could know whether Buchanan was trying to get rid of it or not, I will never know.
To him. You've got to make it even, Amon. You just went to give it to him. You went to ground and you're just happy to hold it in. High on.
He was assaulted in the nicest possible way.
Right.
How he was meant to get rid of it. So Luke Ball. Now this time it's the Saints' turn to go forward with numbers galore to try and negotiate. Fraser somehow was the ace in the pack.
You know, he didn't get off the ground.
No.
The big man just stays there, but he puts the arms up, and he's got long arms at full stretch, and the ball just stuck. If he gets this, it's a 3-goal to 1 quarter St Kilda's way. And in a low-scoring quarter, it's a significant advantage.
I mentioned earlier he's got a good record against the Swans. He's building on that. Important goal for Fraser Gehrig. So Fraser Gehrig's 3rd goal of the night. He's only had the 5 kicks, 5 marks. But when you look at the scoreboard, he is the only multiple goal kicker, and his goals, or at least 2 of them, are really the lead that they've got. So he's being a more effective forward just at the moment than Barry Hall.
Three goals to Fraser Gehrig. He's taken 5 marks, 4 of those contested. So he's having a good night. Kirk dragged off the football. Here's ball, slips over at the crucial moment. Still did well to get boot to ball. Malcheski misses the diving mark. Has time to butter up. Over to Ablett. He's got loose Swans wide. Running onto it is Buchanan. Now he kicks in the direction of Hall. Good mark, good kick. Great stuff from Montagna.
He's hurt Montagna.
Couldn't prevent the mark.
He tried to get back in the path of Barry, but it was just a terrific pass to the big man on the lead.
He's coming off too, Montagna.
He got a whack on the elbow.
Yeah, from Barry. He let him know about it too. So Hall lines up. He's kicked 1-1 so far. And he drills it. Kick again from Buchanan. Montagna got back. Couldn't do much more than that.
Yeah, Buchanan was good because he could have blazed away. He just had the composure to sidestep an opponent and was then able to lift his eyes, see Barry on the lead and put it to his advantage.
Well, he's a bit sore. Lee Montagna.
There's Kazitsky. He's gone to the goal square, and Fraser Gehrig told him, he came down to the forward line, and Gehrig told him, get in the goal square, get back. You've got a chance to have a bit of a spell here. Don't get run off. So Ricks to do the ruck work.
And Gehrig is pretty good at organising the forward line. Ablett gets them into the Swans forward line. Suddenly, an opportunity. Hasn't been too many for O'Loughlin. Flashing in, getting into the pocket. Fosdyke versus Fiora. And well done by Fiora.
Any news, Christie, yet on Goddard? Has he showed his face from the rooms?
No, still in the rooms with the doctors, and Lee Montagna still on the sidelines as well.
There's Barry Hall, who was pretty well held early last week, ended with 4 goals. Matthews, Spider, won't be a mark, wasn't far enough. Harvey, as always, powering forward. Now the race is on. Didn't bounce well for Hall, had to change direction. Was able to keep it in. Gwilt, I'm sure, will try it. Well, he didn't try and get it out. Aggressive nature, well done by Gwilt. Clark, O'Loughlin, numbers prevailing in a big way. Goods adjusting the kick nicely into the pocket. And Luke Ablett, who did kick a nice goal last week, he's going to try and do the same here.
Ablett is Robert Harvey's opponent, but really good play by Michael O'Loughlin. The last minute of the game, he's come across half forward and just set teammates up.
Only had 5 touches, O'Loughlin, Rob, but he's had a couple of important ones, hasn't he, in the last couple of minutes.
His game's been affected by Sydney having a taller player back in the goal square, which is usually the place that he sets up from. He's been forced to play further out.
Never been a big goal kicker, Luke Ablett, 21 goals in his 85-game career. But as I said, he kicked one last week, and he made a bit of a meal of that one. But they are only a goal behind, so we are set for a very big second half, and they're going to be busy in those boxes, and the crowd are going to be involved.
Del Santo to do the kicking in.
Play on.
That's a good one. As his kick finds Blake.
Third out. Play on.
Blake back to Graham. And he finds Fiora. Just his second touch for the evening.
Play on.
And now the Saints play the possession game. Clint Jones playing game number 3 for the Saints. Debuted in round 3 with 14 disposals.
Come on. Thank you.
Ricks back to Kazitsky.
Now I think the Sydney fans are booing. How dare they?
And his kick was meant for Burse. And we'll have a throw in.
I remember back to one of the early years of Grant Thomas's coaching when these two sides played. They had the massive all-in flood, didn't they? It was just about a 0-0 draw here. I think it was a draw that night all those years ago.
Ablett puts Sydney back inside 50. Halls got a chance, but getting back in the hole and taking a good mark is Kazitsky.
With just over a minute to go, I wouldn't be surprised if Ross Ryan has had the message sent out to just keep possession and deny Sydney the chance to get another goal.
Here's Gilbert. Davis putting the pressure on, but
the new opponent there, Hutto, for Revolt. Richards has got the job now. Craig Bolton has done it for most of the first half.
Everett got over the top. Down for Davis. Have to be clean here in the last minute or so. Hall 3 deep. You could just see what was going through his mind there.
Yeah, I think I'll just take it over the line and hope he doesn't hit me.
All right, the wrestle continues. Bit of a tangle. There's Kazitsky. Got it, not in the ruck, but he got a tap down, and it was probably his best one of the night. It went about 25, 30 metres forward. He's gone back to shore up the defence just for the moment, for the last 40 or so seconds.
Well, this is where Fiora thought, ooh, might be in a bit of trouble.
There's Ricks and Everett again. Can anyone get momentum streaming through? Ricks, the hack kick into the space. They're all looking around, not sure which way it was going to go. Malcheski had to be certain with the hands. Goods has an effect. Montagna goes to ground.
He's in trouble, I reckon. Umpire will say...
No, umpires let it go.
Work it out, boys.
Yeah. Squirt it out eventually.
Thank you.
Xavier Clark, who's playing a sort of a forward defensive role, isn't he? He's trying to lock it in, applied plenty of tackles.
And he's done it pretty well. He's playing on the dangerous Malcheski.
Now Davis. Lee Fisher. This could still amount to something. 20 seconds for the Saints to do something before the bell.
So can the Saints pull off something here? Ricks against Everett. Revolt was third man up. Lays the tackle.
Footy. No. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, mate. Keep it tidy. Don't hold. Don't hold. Get against yourself.
Goods smashes it towards the boundary line. Another stalemate. And that will just about be it for half-time, with St Kilda going into the main break with a 1-goal lead. But a big concern with what appears to be a serious knee injury to Brendan Goddard. Still not out of the runes. We'll bring you a report when we can. How did you see it, Rob?
Well, it's an
really
arm
tightened
wrestle,
up, didn't it, in that second turn?
It did. We had the goals early in the game. It did tighten up, but it is an arm wrestle, and these players are giving their absolute all. Just the tackles have been intense. I'm pleased to see that both teams have kept the forward structure in place. Fraser Gehrig always looks dangerous when it comes his way.
Deposit and no interest until January 2010. Now at Harvey Norman. Start shopping. It's time to get what you want now while this incredible offer lasts. With monthly repayments and no deposit and no interest until January 2010. That's an amazing 32 months interest free on our huge range of big screen home entertainment and household appliances, computers, home office and mobile technology, furniture, bedding and bedroom furniture. No deposit and no interest until January 2010. But hurry, limited time only at Harvey Norman now.
Something's coming.
What?
Listen and learn. Turbocharged, direct injected, dynamic stability and traction control. Sports car.
The all-new Mazda CX-7. Everything you love about a sports car and an SUV has come together. CX-7, the perfect reason to cross over to...
is one of Australia's largest insurers, with origins dating back 170 years. Our insurance experts look at your business from every angle to better understand your needs. Ask your broker about Vero Insurance. Vero, a deeper understanding of your insurance needs. That's our angle.
Sunday night, the last game of the season from the English Premier League. Wigan are just 3 precious points from safety. Only a win will take them above the Blades and out of danger. Anything less, they're out of the league. 11:30, Wigan are away to Sheffield United. Then we'll cross live to Old Trafford as the new champions are crowned, followed by a full replay of Man U West Ham. The Hammers look for a big finish to a bad year. Sunday night, 11:30, Sheffield take on Wigan. Exclusively live, Fox Sports 3.
Manny Siaka, the boxer who took a world title away from Anthony Mundine.
A stunned crowd at the Sydney Entertainment Centre.
Now he's stepped up to light heavyweight to take on Dan Green.
Siaka thinks he's coming to knock me out. He's got another thing coming.
The Puerto Rican pedigree faces the Aussie demolition machine.
And the boys are getting it on.
Green v Siaka live Wednesday, May 30th at 7 p.m. See it on Main Event or catch it at your hotel or club.
We love the Naboz kick, and at half-time here at Telstra Dome, there's just one straight kick in it. St Kilda 46, Sydney 40. Gehrig's got 3 for the Saints, and Hall, their full forward, has got 2 for the Swans. Montagna and O'Keefe lead the possessions for the respective sides. Here's some interesting vision just before they went out for the third quarter. Rob and Anthony, Paul Roos got them a very close-knit group in there, just... Oh, it's sort of a bit of a team discussion, really, isn't it? Ryan O'Keefe leading the way there.
Ryan O'Keefe is leading the discussion there, and that is very typical of this team, that senior players have real input.
What you were talking about at the start of the game.
Have strong ownership of the team, and you can see the coach, Paul Roos, it's very controlled, very measured. There's no yelling and screaming, and they are a professional outfit.
Rob Harvey.
Just 9 possessions tonight. Not that that's shocking.
Well, it hasn't been a high possession game, really, has it?
No. Clark and Clinton Jones is continuing to make a name for himself, and he's already made a name for himself. Nick Reebold, 8 possessions, 7 marks, and Fraser Gehrig has kicked 3 goals.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Just ask me though. If you've got a thing, just ask me.
Player-friendly Matthew James.
Fraser Gehrig, the last 6 quarters of football that I've seen him play, last week against Carlton and first half tonight quarters, he's starting to get himself into some real form.
Looks on, doesn't he, in terms of concentrating, helping?
He's a strong grab of the ball. I like this when he gets behind the goal umpire and just patrols the supporters along the fence there. You really know that he's on.
So we're away in the third quarter. But the Saints, if they win tonight, they'll have to do it without Brendan Goddard. It looks like it's the worst possible scenario for St Kilda's number 18 with the anterior cruciate ligament injury. Not fully confirmed. He'll have scans tomorrow, but it doesn't look good for Brendan Goddard. Unfortunately, the number 1 pick back in 2002. Little soccer by Crouch was ineffective. Picked up by Del Santo. Kick round the corner was good. Milnes away. He's looking for Gehrig. Gehrig provides the lead, and he'll get there. Too far out to score.
Back another metre. That's it there. That's it, Fraser. On it.
3 goals straight for Big Fraser tonight.
He might fancy his chances, quarters.
He'll have to be his very best. He's on his correct side, but he'll be kicking from about 55. He's given it a good go. just on the line. So it's the Saints by 7.
Well, again, it's not a goal, but it's an indication that he's feeling good about himself to even have a shot from that angle.
Craig Bolton, the man in the end that was able to do the job for the Swans. Malcheski, some indecision here. They've broken from their huddle. He has to kick to himself. Will just closing in around him for a moment. He's able to get clear. Bit of help from Barry. And they're able to negotiate the danger. Kirk often takes the pace off the play. His handball, though, wasn't all that great. Bit of staring going on between Barry and Harvey. At least he forced him onto the wrong side, but Barry was able to control it for Adam Goods.
Gee, it's very much one-on-one all over the ground.
Gee, look at O'Keefe work.
Yeah, and he's run 80 metres to take that 20-metre pass. But as far as Sydney's concerned, all that matters, they've got possession.
Yeah, Fisher tries to lock him up. Leo Barry said to kick it long down the ground, but he hadn't noticed that Crouch had got away. No one really on the overlap. Barry's run to some more space, and so is Jude Bolton. He settles on Bolton. Gilbert couldn't do much about it. Needless to say, this is a fairly slow and painful build-up by the Swans. They don't want to cough it up, though, and that's okay. Kirk.
That's it, Blakey.
Saints by 7. Goods and O'Keefe both running and providing the option.
It's around about 7 marks in a row, Hutto.
Got to the wing. Now Hall against Gwilt. O'Loughlin's deep. So is Nick Davis. Jolly's down there as well, who has shown the ability to take a contested mark in the forward line. He did that last week. He calls for it long here, Jolly. Probably the best option for Hall. Kazitsky is the man in front. Can Jolly get any movement onto it? No, he couldn't. Well done by Ricks to get back, by Fisher to get back and help out. And now Fiora can scoot away. A couple of options through the middle. Gilbert. Got Milnes, got Jones running for him. Got Harvey at centre-half forward. Xavier Clark's the man, and he gets there. Well played by the Saints.
A fantastic kick by Stephen Milne. That is a fast break from the defensive 50. They've run the ball. They've used a couple of kicks. But this is the play by Milne. He has a bounce. He lifts his eyes. He sees Xavier Clark out the corner of his eyes, and it's a well-weighted kick to put him in a prime spot to kick a goal.
And it was 7 consecutive Swans marks till that turnover. Now Clark, he's finally got his kicking boot on. He's got a couple on line. Game tonight, Xavier Clark.
Blood rule, I believe. And
guess who?
Yeah, Luke Ball coming off. I wonder if that's the wound that he got in round 1, whether it's opened up or not. He got that hard knock to the head. It might just be a gash.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
It's like a new one.
Revolt's playing across the half-forward line, and Gehrig behind him. Xavier Clark dropping back now. They've had to run about 300 metres. All of those St Kilda forwards ran 150 metres downfield when Sydney had those 7 short kicks and marks, and then they've had to bolt back.
Nasty little injury there to Luke Ball. Doesn't seem to be a match go by without him drawing blood somewhere on his body.
Each team's got a loose man in defence. For St Kilda, it's Graham. For Sydney, it's Malcheski.
Looks like he might have got some studs on his face or something. He'll be back soon. As Ablett puts Sydney inside 50. O'Loughlin attacks it. Fiora driven into the ground. Didn't have the ball. Free kick.
And the 2 loose men, Graham and Malcheski, are terrific choices by their coaches because both can run and both are terrific kicks.
Fiora to Milne. Good pass. And Stephen Milne hasn't done a hell of a lot, but what he's done has been good.
I think he's been pretty good quarters.
Yep. Montagna, that's a penetrating kick, but it's all Sydney here. Malcheski,
not a smart kick.
Thank you.
Well, given the way both teams have been pretty patient with the ball, It was a waste. Goods. How'd you seen his game, Robert?
Goods started really well, had a quiet patch. He's certainly not in Brownlow medal form.
Kirk to Buchanan. A bit too much on it for Eamon. Fisher did well to Montagna. Got Graham on short and sideways. Now he can run the lines here and open it up. Chips it out wide. To Kazitsky. To Revolt. So some big names combined. Now a little bit of a break here, the Saints. They can get it moving quickly. He does Revolt to Burst. He's run down as he kicks. Umpire said that's okay. Play on. Schneider to O'Keefe. But he has not got a lot on except Hall, who's a long way from home.
Geez, good play by Snyder, wasn't it? As the Swans start to surge again, it's Malcheski, and it's good direction on the kick. Nick Davis, pretty disciplined, took as long as he could to wait, and then he led into the space.
Yeah, Malcheski, just a beauty to have freed up.
Now we can have a look at what happened to Luke Ball. Just the top left of screen. There's a boot which goes bang.
Gee, was the studs, yeah.
Kazitsky.
Friendly fire.
So big kick coming up for the Swans. We know Nick Davis has missed already a few weeks with injury this year, playing his 4th match of the season. Kicked 4 straight. And he's got a marvellous record in front of goal. It continues. "14 minutes between Swans goals.
Luke Ball's been patched up. You hate to be his parents, wouldn't you? Watching going to the football every week, thinking what's going to happen. He's such a tough customer. Yes. It's worked inside. The Swans attacking 50 again.
Robert Harvey in picture, virtually playing. He was playing as a half forward, but St Kilda just pushing numbers down whilst this ball is in Sydney's forward pocket.
Jolly. And there is Matthews, and he's immediately wrapped up.
Nice, mine.
Kazitsky has to just try to nullify Jolly. Jolly was the one who got that soccer kick out. Jolly was the one who got the handball there. So Kazitsky's really got to work hard to make sure Jolly doesn't have influence.
He got the tap. He did it nicely too. Good tackle on Buchanan. Great tackle. Umpire let it go. Davis to O'Keefe. Left foot snaps, a beauty. Well, the Swans go bang, bang, and it's a point to diff. And great ruck work by Jolly.
Well, that's the worry. That Jolly's just putting it over Kazitsky at the moment. And it was Jolly who got the soccer kick to put it 60 metres into the forward line. He got a handball and he got the tap. And Darren Jolly just too good in the ruck.
Buchanan limping off. Had a knee injury the last couple of weeks, but he says I'm okay.
So it's back to a 1-point ball game. And the Swans have awoken from their slumber and they're surging again. Everett gets them started. Trying to generate some ball out of the middle. Adhard against O'Keefe. You can see the fierce tackling. Luke Ball, he's gone off. He's got patched up and he just throws himself straight back into the fray. No problems. In fact, that's a pretty minor patch-up job, really, on him. Just a few band-aids on the side of the face. No big bandages or anything like that.
Looked like a mummy if you got that one patched up.
Yeah.
Got some battle scars, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Ablett the ruckman that time. So the Saints have got to be right on the middle here. Swans have got a bit of a run. Kirk feeding Buchanan, who's reeling it back. Hall, not that time.
It's all coming from the ruck at the moment. St Kilda are getting slaughtered in ruck contests.
Graham from a standing start. It's a magnificent kick. Travelled 50 metres. But he's found Lee Fisher. So scores all wrapped up, and just some danger signs for the Saints at the moment. Del Santo head over the ball. Got it to Gwilt, to Ball. Inventive handball to Del Santo. They're going backwards at the moment, the Saints. Gwilt. That's a good mark, a solid mark, taken by Sam Fisher. Kicks to half-forward, Revolt against Bolton. Craig. Snaffled by Clark. And he's been pinned for deliberate.
Oh, you're kidding. Clark handballed that. If we can get a replay, let's have a look at it. I reckon he's handballed it. He has handballed it. The umpire guessed and got it right.
He's been pinged for deliberate.
Oh, well, that's just...
Oh, I didn't have a problem. I thought that was a fair call from the ump. He deliberately knocked it over the line.
Well, what, he's heading in that direction. He's got tackled from behind. What can he do?
Well,
it's the great thing about the game, isn't it?
Not often I defend the umpires, Robert. Sydney have got the ball. Crouch. To Bevan. He's not had a lot of game time tonight. Long ball, O'Keefe. Just about best player on the ground. Graham did well. Got the handball out to Jaden Attard, who delivered to the run of Harvey. Good kick to Revolt. This is a better build-up from the Saints. Revolt, he's got Fiora, who's run from defence. Milne thought about the Shepherd, couldn't get there, but it's still a mark to Fiora.
And you called it, Porters, the run from defence. A couple of times in this quarter, St Kilda's got it off their defensive 50, and they have just streamed forward. Sydney's playing with an extra man in defence. And the kick by Harvey was a beauty because he pulled the kick to enable Revolt to lead up into it, take the mark. And then this kick by Revolt to the running Fiora was pinpoint perfect.
And again, Graham had an involvement too, didn't he?
He's not without a chance here, Fiora.
Don't jump over, Crouchy.
Kicked 4 goals so far this year. It's a good-looking kick. Saints lead by a goal. There's the run. Harvey chips up the line to Revolt. And Fiora, who worked really hard. Mark and goal.
Barry Hall. Is Harvey on the phone to the coach, you would think. Barry Hall dropped back to the goal square. O'Loughlin up at half forward.
So margin back to an even goal.
That's mine.
There's
Thanks, boys.
Gwilton
Thanks, guys.
Hall.
Thanks, runner, out, bud.
And the Saints with a spare man. In fact, 2 spare men back in defence at the moment as they sort this out. That's all to the right of screen. Our attention back in the middle. Montagna, Kirk, Attard. Great strength and then acceleration from Davis. Hall against 2. And the 2 win out. As it hits the ground, can they generate some run again from halfback? It'll be tough here for Fisher. They'll be happy with a neutral result. Is that deliberate? No.
Well, Barry Hall double teamed. Is that deliberate? I reckon that's more deliberate than Clark's. Anyway, I'm going to put it behind me, Paul.
He's got to move on, Robert.
Yeah.
Closure, Robert's called, I think. Blake climbs to his feet.
Tell you what, Fisher had a nice close look at the Telstra Dome sign, didn't he?
Fiora that time is the one over the top. Into the space for Attard, but there's not much space there. Adam Goods that time locking it over. So the arm wrestle continuing here. It's particularly at these boundary throw-ins, that last 5 clearances, that's where they've really dominated.
Well, the ruck work's been all Sydney's, and again another hit out to the Swans. There's Brett Voss in picture, Hutto, and he hasn't had a kick. He's had 3 handballs. A couple of weeks ago when the Saints played over in Adelaide, he was their leading forward, but He's had a pretty cold night thus far.
Yeah, he's averaged 17 possessions in his 2 games so far. Kicked 3 goals, as you mentioned, over against Port. Kirk. And that's Fiora, who's sort of the man of the moment. Takes it for the Saints.
Here goes Graham on the bolt.
He did bolt well, and Lachlan couldn't keep up with him. Now he gets the kind bounce. Graham, will he load up? No, he goes to pass to Gehrig, and there's just too much on it. Well, it was a beautiful build-up from the Saints. They just couldn't quite finish it off. Now on the rebound, Jack's run down. Attacking it as McVeigh. Sidesteps a couple. Now dishes it out wide to Fosdyke. He's got O'Loughlin on short. That's ignored. The old 1-2. McVeigh back to Fosdyke. Now to the pocket. To Bolton. No mark. Fiora. Fisher. To his namesake. Errant handball. O'Keefe pounces. Stood up in the tackle. Oh, it's a hard ball out there at the moment. Saints get it back. Adard kick to the wing. Revolt had the arms chopped by Bolton.
One thing you've got to give Revolt credit for, he's worked for front position all night. Sydney supporters not happy with the free kick.
Make an attempt to punch.
And I reckon they're entitled to be unhappy.
Chance for Jones here, but there's Kirk. Wrapped up, no free kick. Buchanan needed some protection, he got it. Well done by Jack, allowed a bit of a path. They need to find a way out here for the Swans, and there is. McVeigh got Buchanan running for him away to the right here, and he spots him eventually. Some space here in the wilderness at half forward. Couple of options, but one of them he didn't count on. Revolt wrapping him up. Well done, Nick Revolt.
Super tackle by the big man.
More than just a marking forward. Harvey better watch out. Bevan coming. Oh, caught that. Free kick advantage. And Blake.
Well, Chish Bevan hit 2 of them so hard, didn't he?
There's the Revolt tackle. Lasso won the free. To half forward, we're away again. Aaron Fiora had 6 possessions for the quarter. Gehrig against Melcheski and Barry. And just a nervous moment there for Melcheski. The ball's going to bounce back into play.
Just sense the game's opening up the last 2 or 3 minutes, Rob.
Here we go.
I do.
Let's have a look at it.
We're getting some good runs. And there's the double whammy from Bevan.
You'd love that as a coach, wouldn't you? Richards got rid of his opponent. Oh, it's an absolute shocker of a handball. Bad turnover. Now Robert Harvey to half forward, looking for Fiora. No mark. Bolton, Goods. Little chip kick. O'Keefe's got the front posse and he's good enough. He plays on straight away, weighs up the options. Hall is double teamed again.
Throw him out of the way.
Oh, Barry won't be happy.
Just throw him out of the way.
Geez, I reckon that's hard on Barry Hall.
I agree with you there,
That is so hard. It means you just can't have a hand on anyone.
Nice to see you two agreeing for a change, huh? Tension up here in the box.
Lucky you're in the middle.
Yeah, that'll really stop either of you going for each other. Ricks at half-back. Going short. Fiora. 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Aaron Fiora's had a real spurt in this turn. Back for Gwilt. And the crowd letting them know what they think of those defensive tactics, but it's worked beautifully for them. It's freed up the man. Lee Fisher just relishing being back, putting games together after having horrific long-term injury problems. Ricks. Over to Milne. He's been buzzing around on the wing tonight as well as the forward line. For Revolt. And the Saints not afraid to take the pace off the play either. Brett Voss comes into the play for you, Rob.
He does, and he'll look for Gehrig. Gehrig's led. He's ignored it.
He's covered now. Blake drifting down to the goal square, but he's got to contend with Good, so he does go for Gehrig. Well, he's done enough to take the mark.
It's always the second lead that can wrong-footed defender, and Gehrig was probably always the option because St Kilda just couldn't get another big man back into the 50. And you can see he goes back and catches Leo Barry asleep.
6 goals last week. He's to clear out the...
Well, that's what Brendan Favola did last week.
Connor won't be happy.
He wouldn't get a fine, would he?
Righto. Big kick for Fraser, and he's a wonderful way of finding the middle. Oh, Fraser Gary gives the Saints a little bit of space. Not that there's much space anywhere tonight. Fourth goal for Fraser, 13 points the difference.
We'll get a please explain from Ian Collins.
Well, the fans love it, don't they?
Better than kicking a bucket anyway.
And you can feel a bit of a rumble around the Telstra Dome from the St Kilda fans.
Kazitsky gone to the forward line. That put Ricks in the ruck up against Jolly.
Goods for the Swans. Long left foot kick. Hall's in front. Can he get there? No, he can't. Again, St Kilda have more numbers around the ball. Deep in defence. Graham to Fisher. To half forward. Can Blake keep his feet? He can. Runs onto it now. Lost it. Pressure. Good tackle by Jack. Fiora 7 disposals this quarter for the Saints.
Now, it's interesting tonight, Rob. You talked about the Ross Lyon game plan. The Swans have laid the most tackles in the competition and conceded the least amount of disposals. They normally wrap it up, but look at the Saints beating them at their own game.
Yeah, they've really hit in hard.
Oh, Kazitsky can make it a 19-point ball game. So we've seen him. Well, he's not. Let's put it this way: he's not the most reliable kick from this distance. Oh. But no problems there. The Saints out by 19. Now the acid's been put on the Swans.
Thought that would happen at some stage tonight, that Kazitsky would be deep and be a weapon.
3-goal break to St Kilda. Barry Hall double teamed, as you can see there. The big fella struggling to get into the game. Maybe Paul Roos might look to free him up a little bit. It may well be that he lets Jolly do the ruck work and then gives Barry 5 or 6 minutes running on the footy just to free him up, because you can see frustration creeping into his game.
Hall 2 goals 1. Jack off with the blood rule.
Okay, guys. Eyes up.
Ricks in the centre circle against Jolly this time. Ablett and Harvey there. Bolton and Burse. And Montagna.
Try and knock it out.
Kirk over the top.
He had no chance.
Well, both teams with an extra man in defence, but when you've got a 3-goal lead, it's to your advantage.
Burse and Bolton.
And you can see the extra man in defence there, number 42 for Sydney, who is Paul Bevan.
Milne again.
Just push in the back. Push him straight in the back, dude. Give the ball to him. Please, quickly.
Burse has got the job on Bolton at the moment. Got the free. There's run from behind either side. Could have chosen to go left. He had Gwilt there, but he decides to go to his right. And Joey Montagna.
Just showing some composure here, St Kilda.
Back for Fisher.
Free kicks this quarter, Rob, for your interest. 6-1 in favour of the Saints, and they lead the count 18-9.
Now the ball in the hands of Jason Graham. 11 possessions. He's the #1 running bounce man in the competition. He hasn't had too many tonight, but
slow motion, isn't it?
He's having a few here, racking a few up as the Swans get their numbers back. And they didn't cover. Shane Burse, an unlikely man to be trying to extend this St Kilda lead, but they are on fire at the moment. Can't miss.
Shane Burst, 51 games for the Bulldogs, playing his second game in St Kilda colours, has kicked a very important goal as we near three-quarter time. And the Saints out to a 25-point lead, which is a pretty healthy margin in the context of this match.
No, that's mine. I'm not going anywhere.
Saints got 2 extra men in defence at the moment. I think Paul Roos will be very pleased to make, Ross Lyon to keep that lead till three-quarter time.
He liked that goal, I reckon, Shane Burst.
Well, he did like that goal. He's playing on Brett Kirk at the moment, but Graham and Lee Fisher, the extra men in defence.
Last 5 minutes disposal. St Kilda 15, Sydney 2. Graham, short, Fisher switches to the other pocket and Gwilt, and he's got a panic. And he can just stand there and milk the clock if he wants. Laconically kicks back to Fisher.
Barry Hall being led a merry dance by he's got 2 opponents, so it's very hard on him, but he's chasing Lee Fisher around. Gwilt, they'll just play keepings off until the siren goes and just be very happy with their big lead in a low-scoring game.
Do you change it up then if you're Paul Roos, Rob? Do you make him go man on man?
Well, I think he's got to make some changes, and Barry Hall will be the first one, and that'll be to get him into the action. It's not much fun when you're not getting a kick and you've got 2 opponents.
Another free kick against Bolton for a chop on the arms.
And even just to play him as a ruckman. Nick Davis can go to full forward.
Had the last 21 marks, the Saints, so that shows how they're...
The last 21 marks, that's an amazing stat, isn't it? Just shows that they're controlling the tempo of the game. Gee, that was...
Make it 22.
A little bit risky.
Now 23.
Well, they don't really want to play on because they want to be able to go back and just do this at their leisure, find a target.
Gilbert to Graham. Well, Graham's going to take on Kirk and has got more than enough leg speed to do so. A thumping kick out towards Fraser Gehrig. Wait for it to bounce. Tries a bit of fancy work. Party trick didn't quite come off. And Goods has cleaned up Bolton. Push. Your kick. Barry's hurt. It's all happening. O'Keefe.
How did Leo Barry get hurt?
Don't know. It doesn't look too flash.
Back here. Hold here. Your ball. Hold. No, it's his ball though.
Pretty resilient, isn't he, Leo Barry?
Here we go.
Look at this. Well, innocuous, wasn't it? Yeah. He's hurt himself.
There, JJ.
So Adam Snyder with a minute to go. Can they pierce a hole somewhere in this St Kilda defence? Nick Davis. Everyone's forward. Ted Richards is in the goal square. And it's been heavily guarded down there with tall timber. Ricks and Kazitsky there. Richards at the back. Fisher. And the Saints. Can they collect themselves here and race it down and have a chance to score? They might still be able to. Clark and the traffic all went past him. Graham, back to Clark. Got some dash and some run and some daring about them tonight, the Saints. And the blinkers were on there, unfortunately.
Tired kick, wasn't it?
He's got nothing to go to. Good, though.
Well, that's why he's pulled up. Oh, that's an ordinary kick too.
Yeah. Burst in no hurry.
Well, the message has gone out. Sit on the footy.
And it's not surprising. It has been St Kilda's quarter at the Telstra Dome. 5 goals to 2 for the quarter. And at the end of it, Rob, the margin is 25 points, and the Saints not the only ones with their injury concerns.
Well, it'll be interesting if Paul Roos makes some changes at three-quarter time, because obviously his team's been really challenged and probably outplayed at their own game at this stage. And there's Barry Hall, very, very frustrated in picture. Fraser Gehrig, of course, he's been terrific with the limited opportunities that he's had, able to kick 4 goals to three-quarter time.
Vero is one of Australia's largest insurers, with origins dating back 170 years. Our insurance experts look at your business from every angle to better understand your needs. Ask your broker about Vero Insurance. Vero, a deeper understanding of your insurance needs. That's our angle.
7 years ago in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Titleist Pro V1 made its professional debut.
I won with it the first time I put it in play.
It was an instant phenomenon, the uncontested standard of performance, and best-selling ball and golf shops everywhere. Now there's an all-new Pro V1 and Pro V1X.
Pro V1X does what I wanted to do.
I love the new alignment line.
I won the first time I put it in play.
The new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X, better than ever.
You could do with some coaching. Check this out. We could be coached by Australia's best.
You and a friend could win the ultimate coaching experience with Nathan Brown, Mick Malthouse, Ewan McKenzie and Graham Arnold. Just purchase Powerade at your local supermarket to go in the draw. Plus, there's heaps of other great sports gear to be won. Powerade, fast and effective hydration to help your body get there.
Tonight live on Fox Sports. All roads lead to centre court as the ATP Tour's Spring Swing meets the clay courts of Rome. With another Masters Series trophy on the line, everyone wants to win on the red earth of Italy's premier tennis arena.
Brilliant.
When the titans of tennis face off on the Italian clay, who will be the last to fall in Rome? The final from the Masters Series Rome, tonight live and exclusive on Fox Sports 1.
Hey, this is Gravy with an important announcement. If you didn't already know, Fuel TV is playing surf movies every night at 10:30. We've caught up with some of the best surfers in the world to see what they've got to say about them. Hey, I'm Luke Munro. After a hard day's work on the racing channel, just a couple of clicks down to Fuel TV. Stick Flicks 10:30 every night. Make sure you check it out.
Hi, I'm Joel Parkinson. You should watch Stick Flicks on Fuel TV. You never know what you're going to see.
Hey, I'm Danny Wills. Come 10:30, grab a beer and watch a surf movie on Stick Flicks. Yeah, best way to do it.
I'm Kelly Slater. When I'm in Australia, I tune into Stick Flicks 10:30 every night on Fuel because no one else is playing the stuff and we want to watch it.
Monday nights on Fox Sports. Clinton Grivers presents an action-packed hour of highlights from the latest round of the AFL Premiership. The winners. 7:30 Monday nights on Fox Sports 1.
Roos tonight. Ross versus Roos tonight. And at the moment, it's Ross who's leading the way with the Saints, a very handy 25-point buffer at three-quarter time. They've tried just about everything, the Swans. But at the moment, St Kilda look the likely winners. The G-Train's got 4. Hall and O'Keefe 2 apiece for Sydney. 12-6 plays 8-5. O'Keefe, as always, is leading the way for the Swans. Had another terrific game. Montagna's got 18 for the Saints. As we have a look at the key legs, Robert Walls as the Swans, who I think are just starting to show some signs of wear and tear. We'll discuss that as the quarter wears on.
Well, the two names at the bottom there, Schneider and Buchanan, they're both very quick, stocky players, and I think they'd play most of this last quarter. So you can see they've been rested in the first 3, so that's handy for Sydney to have up their sleeves. Adam Goods, though, look, he's only been off the ground for 4 minutes. They need a massive quarter out of him. I would think if you're a St Kilda supporter, you'd be very pleased to see that Del Santo has had 21 minutes off the field, and Luke Ball's had 33 minutes off the field. They're their two-gun midfielders, and you can see Ross Lyon is starting them, and I think they'd have plenty left in the tank.
Christy M.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, besides Brendan Goddard, who we've also already mentioned is in the rooms with a suspected ACL, the other injury concern is for the Swans, Leo Barry, who received a heavy knock to his shoulder during that break. He just spent quite a bit of time with the doctors. He's having trouble lifting his right arm above his head at the moment, but it does look like he's going to start on the ground. In fact, he is walking into position now. So he will start on the ground, but he won't be 100% in this last term. And Brendan Goddard has just made his way out onto the bench. So he will support his teammates from the bench in this last term. And Luke Ball, back out in the ground, as we already saw, had that top lip patched up. It's actually, he got his lip cut last time these teams met in Sydney last year, and he was actually stretched it off the ground then. This time, he's okay.
And the Brisbane Lions struggling at home against the Adelaide Crows, who have a very healthy lead early in the last quarter. 85 plays 54.
Well, a big quarter needed from Spider Everett. He'll start in the ruck, and that puts Jolly up in the goal square, so they're going tall, Sydney. But the big man there who's crossed from the Hawks to Sydney has only had 5 disposals at this stage.
So we start the last quarter. It's Everett against Kazitsky, who grabbed the football. Got it out to Ball, who puts the Saints inside 50. A quick goal here would make it 9 impossible for the Swans. But Goods, as Robert Wall said, needs a really big quarter. Ablett put under the pump.
Gee, that's a good tackle by Harvey. Not to give a free kick.
Hey, just go, Rob. Just go. Take away the ground. Thanks, mate. Stay back.
Robert Harvey, 15 disposals tonight.
Goodsy ball. Didn't have it.
Free kick to Goods at half back. To Richards. What can he do? He goes for Hall. Again's got to beat a couple, and he did it. But he's too far out to score. Davis provides a lead. He might get it here. Hands on the ball. Umpire let it go. No chopping of the arms. Xavier Clark did well to feed it out under pressure to Montagna, to Gwilt. Now Lee Fisher, and he finds Graham, who's had another big game for St Kilda tonight.
Yeah, getting better and better as the game's gone on. 15 possessions for Jason Graham. Second in the AFL in terms of rebounds. It's the way he uses the ball and the run he provides. It's so valuable to St Kilda. Xavier Clark in career best form, I reckon, too, Rob.
He's played really good football the last couple of weeks.
Revolt and Voss.
Arms around, he hasn't got it.
And I like the way Ross Lyons used Xavier Clark, Hutto. He's playing him as a half forward. We know he's got terrific skills and talents, but he's also using him as a player that locks the ball into the forward line because he tackles so well.
He is their leading tackler this year inside 50, and it was an area that I know that Ross Lyon was disappointed in for a few weeks.
Well, that was early in the year when Milne and Fraser Gehrig were not laying a tackle, but things have changed over the last couple of weeks.
So the reset, and the Saints go in the Gehrig direction. Everett takes a mark, but in the end it was almost uncontested. He judged it well, though, trying to get it moving. Eventually he's got a man that's broken the shackles and can run, and it is Leo Barry, shoulder strapped. We do see that often anyway. Barry into a roadblock. His handball wasn't great for Kieran Jack. Jones bearing down on him, the stronger body strength, but Buchanan arrived just in the nick of time, and he goes to a rare one-on-one for Barry Hall. Didn't end up being one-on-one. The rangy Gilbert getting back, and the Saints have got all the answers just at the moment. Attard's kick finds the line.
Don't you love that as a defender when someone comes and helps you?
Absolutely, and that's something that Ross Lyon has just put down his players' throats all week. You've got to get back to help Gwilt on Barry Hall, and young Gilbert did it to perfection.
Jolly the tap to Kirk, who's all wrapped up beautifully by Ball.
That's held into him.
And Luke Ball has had 9 tackles tonight.
What is the tackle count? 40 to St Kilda, 27 to the Swans. They need this goal, the first goal of this quarter. Bounce favours Jolly. We'll have another bounce.
No, mine.
34 players in one half of the ground, so St Kilda have got the numbers back. Fraser Gehrig is the only St Kilda player in their front half.
Very hard to get a kick in there at the moment. Now Buchanan threaded it out to Davis. Check side kick. And the Swans get the all-important first goal of the last quarter. Well, Davis has got 2, and that's the one the Swans so desperately needed. Rob, they're back in the game.
Well, it was a terrific bit of football, wasn't it? And the sharp handball, and Nick Davis realising he can banana kick this one, just sneaked outside of that inner circle of players at the stoppage and check-sided it for a terrific goal.
Guess Ross Lyon knows firsthand that the Swans will keep on coming. 19 the margin then. Everett and Kazitsky. Kazitsky, that's better with a good strong knock forward. Numbers come off the square though for the Swans. Schneider into the space. Who's going to get there first? The Saints. Fisher, that looked like a throw from here. Play on. Clark and O'Loughlin both sit on top of it. Impossible for the umpire to make a call either way. Let's have a look at the nature of the hand.
Oh.
Dodgy. Kazitsky did well, controlled it to his own advantage. Fraser just trying to hold off Barry, but he would not be denied there, Leo Barry. Or is it a free kick?
Hands in the back.
Oh, hands in the back. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, it's a fair call. And Montagna is probably within range. Certainly on the run, he can kick the ball a long way.
It was a terrific bit of recovery work by Kazitsky at half back in the ruck.
2 goals, 7 for the year. Won't give him all that much confidence. But he's got hold of that. He has got hold of it. A real shot in the arm for the Saints early in the last. Plenty for Paul Roos to ponder.
Lee Montagna gets his first for the night, his third for the season. And again, it gives the Saints a pretty handy margin, 25 points. Del Santo. Kick by Fisher, found Kazitsky, he just slams it on the boot. Back inside 50, revolt. Good skills for the big man to Del Santo. Sidestep, pops it up into the end. Mill will get there.
Quarters, Kazitsky's been really important in this last quarter. He's got the ball forward with the quick kick, and he helps set up the Milne opportunity here and the Montagna one just before. He hasn't particularly rucked well, but his around the ground play's been good. He's had 15 disposals, the big fella.
Just a mark to Stephen Milne, who's kicked one. It's coming back. Oh, it's going to be tough for the Swans now. .31 points. I can't see Sydney getting back into this game now. They are starting to show some signs of wear and tear.
Stephen Milne, he seems to be playing a more complete brand of footy in the last couple of weeks. 11 possessions tonight and 2 goals, and the margin beyond 5. The Swans are going to have to dig deeper than they've just about ever been able to get back from here.
What it means, Hutto, you'd say that Sydney's got to kick 6 goals in the next 14 minutes. Well, that means they've got to change the normal way in which they play. They've got to be a lot bolder, a lot more attacking, a lot more direct.
Let's see what their response is like. Goods has a chance here from the Ablett kick. Free kick. Advantage. O'Keefe takes it, hauls away. He should mark, and you rely on him to kick fairly accurately from there as well.
And I think they would sense that, Sydney. Look, they're an experienced team. They're a good team. They understand situations in games. They have to go for broke over the next 14 minutes.
Barry Hall splits the middle, gets one back. got 3 tonight, Barry Hall. "12 possessions, 9 marks and 3 goals, which is a good return, but hasn't been enough for the Swans at this stage at least.
So 3 to Hall, and the Swans just hanging in there. All up to 18 goals for the season. Harvey. Saints lose a handle on it. Will they get it back through Harvey? Well, at least he managed to 50-50.
Paul Roos has got Adam Goods playing at half forward. I think that's a really good move because we saw him get that free kick against Blake. That will worry Blake. Blake could be much happier if Goods was playing as a midfielder.
Jolly the Tat did it well to Matthews. Quick kick to half forward. O'Keefe against Graham. Good match up, that one. Well done by Graham. Oh, O'Keefe from Milne.
Easy.
Don't think that lasts long.
Play on.
Davis back of the pack. Oh, it's a dodgy handball to Malcheski.
Good tackling again by the Saints, just to wrap it up.
So bounce centre wing. Jolly against Kazitsky. Again, Jolly won the tap. But to no avail.
He's playing his heart out, Kazitsky. He was up against Peter Everett for the first 8 minutes of this final quarter. Now he's taking on Jolly, and he's just been fantastic for his team.
Montagna leads away in the disposal count in this match. Davis to Kirk to Matthews. Got the right leg heavily strapped. It's a helicopter. 2 Swans fly. Spoil each other in the end. Now Sam Fisher to Revolts. So good on the lead.
Good composure, Sam Fisher. Didn't bomb away when he got that ball under pressure at half-back. He just steadied himself, saw Revolt on the lead, put it to his advantage.
2 men guarding the space in front of Gehrig. So they realign themselves, the Saints. Milne committed to playing on. Looks for Xavier Clark, but that time the bustling work was effective by Snyder. The handball not so effective though. Crouch and Kirk couldn't get them out of trouble. And the ferociousness of the Saints on display again.
Beating them at their own game, aren't they?
They are. Xavier Clark just put the hand in to get a deflection on the Sydney Swans handball. We'll see it coming up. It was just super stuff. And they're the sort of things that win you games.
Play a handball.
Super stuff out the back. And here's Clark again with the bouncing dribbling kick. Fraser committed to going. Trying to lay it off. Malcheski, Bevan, Kirk, Barry. It's all hard, isn't it? It's all really tough stuff for the Swans. Nothing really clean about it. Snyder to the wing. The Saints have got the wall. Didn't go out of bounds. Gilbert and Revolt collaborating. Another Swan goes down. Ablett gets to his feet as the ball goes into the pocket. Bevan was committed. So too Richards. Maybe they can get some run now. They need something very, very soon, the Swans. Bolton, Barry, back for Bolton again. They're running as a team out of defence because they've got nothing ahead. Has to wait. Davis, Hall doubles back, but he missed time to lead. Davis didn't read at all what Barry Hall had in mind, and Fisher to clean up.
They have all the answers in Kilda.
Moving on. Play on. Play on.
So Blake's told to go. Just kick short to Fisher. So
moving on. Play on.
He's told to play on. As the Saints maintain possession. Ricks hasn't had a lot to do tonight. So Robert said Justin Kazitsky has shouldered much of the ruck work. Del Santo
just the 11 touches, which is usually he's around about the 22 at this stage of a game. Went into the game under an injury cloud, but as we said, spent a lot of time off the field in the first 3 quarters, so should have plenty in the tank. Luke Ball was the same. Now they are just controlling the tempo of this game, playing it on their terms. They've got the lead, they've got the goals on the board. There's Barry Hall's opponent.
And his name is Gwilt. James Gwilt.
Pretty good effort, Quarters, isn't it, for a young fella who's only played a handful of senior games to play on Favola one week and then Barry Hall the next.
Yep, game number 8 in his short AFL career. Legged. It'll be a free kick to Sam Gilbert.
Bring it back, Trip.
So Gilbert kicks in the revolt direction. Why wouldn't you? No mark on that occasion. Here's Del Santo. Goes back about 40 metres and finds Gwilt. It's only round 7, Rob, and it's a long way to go. It's a very long season. The Swans have been there and done that. But over Sydney, we've come to know and love over the last 2 or 3 years.
Just look a bit tired, don't they? And an unhealthy reliance on Hall and O'Loughlin to kick their goals. And if they don't have big games, the side can struggle. Going into this match, of course, Barry Hall, he'd had 15 goals, O'Loughlin 10. I remember you, Hutto, saying Jolly was next with 5.
Yep.
Well, you know, a lot of play goes through those two, and they've been sensational over the last 4 years.
So Voss to again make it 31 points a difference. Free kick for a push in the back against Richards. It's there.
There's Justin Kazitsky. He's been getting a lot of work done by the physio and the trainer, but he's getting some instructions now for the coach, so he must be okay. Robert Harvey, of course, also there. It was only 10 frames. His hands were in the back that time, Ted Richards before, so we put it through the Jeffalizer, Tim Lane's Jeffalizer, and they reckon he was a bit unlucky to be paid the free kick against him, but he certainly did have the hands in the back.
That's the only downer for the night, isn't it, Anthony?
It is.
Looks like it could be the full whammy for Brendan Goddard, the ACL, which means 12 months out of the game.
Held in.
Obviously, Ross Lyon knows this Sydney team better than anyone other than Paul Roos, and you can just see what he's done with Barry Hall all night. That's how tight they are, those two on the one man, because so much play is directed through Hall. Well, they're just programmed Sydney to do that.
He should know what Sydney disliked the most, I guess, shouldn't he? Having sat with Paul Roos for 3 years or so. Goods with the tap into the space. Buchanan could get through one, but not the other one, and holding the ball. Sometimes we've seen free kicks for the head contact this year in that situation, but umpire's saying he ducked into it. Let's see whether he was right or not. Blind turn, and there's the duck of the head. Good call.
Moss and Kilda have had the extra man back. It means that Sydney have to have an extra man too. That's been Malcheski, but at this stage of the game, it's not helping Sydney, because if it just evens out over the next 10 minutes, well, St Kilda win.
Do you then put an extra man down forward to go with the guy?
I'd have Malcheski going down there and making it a 2-on-2.
Nick Revolt has got back to his best marking form tonight. 12 possessions. 12 marks, I should say. That's his 13th, in fact.
He says to Del Santo, you go back and I'll kick it to you.
Yeah, it's junk time in a way, but the Saints are in no hurry at all. Here's Malcheski, and now the Swans can counter, but there's no one there for them, so it's going to take the best athletic work here from Michael O'Loughlin, as he's still got it in his legs. Has to wait, get some help. McVeigh back for O'Loughlin. From 60, he spots Bolton in the pocket.
Gee, he did it well, didn't he, Michael O'Loughlin?
Didn't panic. Bolton, a couple of options, one of them Kirk. Can't hit the target, though. Fiora's run the gauntlet there. The umpire was fairly kind to him, just got the handball away. A moment for Hall. And Barry Even he couldn't get through to find clear space. He did pretty well there to keep it alive. Hurried snap at goal is not bad at all, and Snyder kicks the goal.
Well, Snyder's tackle was terrific on Fiora, and in the end he gets rewarded by being the one who puts it through after Barry Hall has 3 chasing.
Well, I don't think the birthday boy is going to celebrate with a win tonight for the Sydney Swans, Adam Schneider, but it was a nice snap for his first for the night as Kirk has a breather. Free kicks in Kilda. Free kicks tonight, 25-13 in favour of the Saints. Montagna, he's had at least 20 disposals in every match this year. And this is Burse. Turnover. Buchanan, he's battled hard as always. Here's Jack, lost it. Coming through hard was O'Keefe. There's a free kick going to Jared Crouch, much to the delight of Swan supporters. Bevan has to, well, thought about doubling back now to Leo Barry, and he's missed the target. Attar to Montagna. Disposal number 23 coming up for him. To Gwilt. And didn't panic when his kick finds Del Santo.
Del Santo's 7th disposal for the quarter, and he's just one who was kept up Ross Lyon's sleeve.
Raises the question, this performance by the Swans tonight. Who should be the second favourite team for the premiership this year? West Coast clearly the favourite.
Well, it'll be Adelaide, wouldn't it?
Well, it might be now after they win tonight.
Be your team, Geelong, Hunter.
Don't say that, Rob.
Actually,
that's why I asked.
I've jumped on another bandwagon.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
seat 1A for the Roos.
Kangaroos.
Well,
is Dean Bailey talking to you?
Of course he is. It was a fantastic effort by them last night, and refreshing to see a team prepared to kick it long to contests.
Geez, you can turn.
Oh, he said at the start of the year, Dean Lathley should be an assistant coach, didn't he?
I never said that.
So Voss. It's the Saints by 25. Good effort from there. It is home. No, just missed. So 1-1 to Brett Voss. So it's going to be a good win to the Saints, who are now going to be 4 wins, 3 losses for the year. As I said, it has come at a cost with, looks like Brendan Goddard's season is over. A very cruel blow to a team that's, you've got to say, due for some luck with injury. They've had a wretched run for about 3 or 4 years, the Saints. Bevan kicks Justin's run down by Revolt to the 50. Nice pick up by Davis. Clever handball to Crouch. Can't break the middle tackle. Should be a free kick. None forthcoming, but the Saints get the footy anyway. Burse throws it onto the boot. Only as far as Bevan. Out wide to Everett. And Kirk, good spoil from ball. Desperate stuff. Now Harvey. And he's put it out of bounds on the full.
Luke Ball has had 14 tackles for this game. His team's had 51. That's how important he's been.
One thing this might show, Wolsey, again, is the importance of Ty Kennelly for the Swans.
Well, absolutely. The dash of Ty Kennelly off that half-back flank sorely missed tonight.
And Everett certainly missing. Does just that. Ricks didn't have much awareness there. In fact, Brett Voss, I should say. And now Jones is hurt, I reckon. Hopefully not too seriously.
Jones got that free kick through courage alone. Now, he has got himself hurt, but he just threw himself at the ball. Right. Gilbert, Jones, have a look at this. Prepared to take the hit.
Out wide and finds Sam Gilbert, who's been okay again tonight. Now Fisher.
I'll give you 8 names, Hutto. Hutchton, Maguire, Hayes, Goddard, Doc Clark, Hamill, Thompson, Raff Clark. 8 St Kilda players not
bad,
out
is
there.
it?
He's not in a good way, Jones. Here's the Swans next 4 weeks. The Power at the SCG, the Dogs, the Bombers and the Hawks. No such thing as an easy game in the modern battle of AFL football. Jones is doing his best to stay out there.
Must move it on. Play on.
To the wing. Richards slipped at the crucial moment. And is he going to be pinged? The umpire's in that mood, I think. Yes, sir.
Easy, guys. Let him up. Play on.
Here's Burse. Into the team tonight, of course, because Stephen Baker was out for a couple of weeks. Barry just can't get rid of Robert Harvey. And the Saints have been relentless tonight in all aspects of their game. Fosdyke, and again, doing the hard things there, Rob. Burse.
Well, he'll do that. The 1%ers are his go, Hutto.
Here's the Saints. Next 4 weeks, the Hawks, Freo, big match against Geelong in round 10, and then the Roos, Wolsey's Roos, round 11.
Quick kick by Kirk.
Given all that long injury list, Rob, you reeled off before from the Saints, so what sort of damage can they Goddard on it now? What sort of damage can they do this year, do you think? It's a very open race over there.
Well, look, you're right. Look, I suggest they'll be there in September if they can get players like Hayes back in form, Hutchton and Maguire. Well, you just don't know because injuries can happen to other teams. But the more you look at it, the more you think that West Coast Eagles are a long way in front of the next best. Burse.
You're on their bandwagon too. You're not bad. Little soccer by Fiora towards goal. There's the G-train wrestling with Leo Barry. Fraser wants a free kick. Crowd tonight, close to 38,000. Chance here for the Saints to put some icing on the cake. Blake went up. There's Malcheski. Just protects the ball, allows Bevan to pick it up. To Richards. He's caught in 2 minds. Back to Bevan. And he goes to Schneider.
The other thing that'll be interesting now, Rob, we'll see what Swans do at selection. I mean, are they going to give some of these younger guys a go, or are they going to stick with the faithful, with the premiership players?
Well, I think they'll stick with the players who've made them such a good team. I don't think you'd see too many of them go out of the team over the next month or so. You know, if they started to really struggle towards the end of the season, it might be a time then that Paul Roos would think about the future. But this is their window of opportunity to win flags. You know, they played in the last 2 grand finals. Kaczynski in picture, he's been fantastic tonight. You know, the effort of the St Kilda players has been absolutely first rate.
St Kilda fans suggesting the umpire needs some assistance with his eyesight. Jude Bolton still pushing.
Right there.
McVeigh, tired legs. There'll be a lot of those out there tonight. 15-7, 97 to 11-5, 71. We're inside the last 5. Well and truly. McVeigh is a nice kick when he hits it well. But you wouldn't know it from that kick.
Fisher marks in the back pocket.
That's his 14th mark for the game, Quarters.
And it's a big, big win to the Saints against the Swans.